Action. Oh, sorry. Chevron 7 encoded. Gate locked.
Yeah. That's a cool effect, by the way. And I love the iris.
Mm-hmm.
Is that CG or is that like
It
practical?
is CG. Yeah. I mean, they have a closed version and a... I mean, there's no open version. It's inside the gate. But yeah, it's CG. And it's really good CG for the time. Like, it's seamless on a lot of those shots, I think.
Hmm. Well, I'm impressed with it. So
Yeah. Holds up well.
hey guys, welcome back. Talking about Stargate Season 2 today. Woohoo.
A bit off kilter, but it does make sense. This is probably one of our... You know, we might do like a... You know, wow, he burned through 5 seasons. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll do seasons 3 to 5 retrospective because he just keeps watching them. But this will be probably the last, like... neat as we go because we've got lower decks and stuff, but definitely when you hit the end of season 7 and that two-parter, that should be a what do you think of the last couple of years, because that's when it kind of resets into Stargate-ish and then double resets for 9 and 10. So let me know when you get at season 7, because that's all stuff Atlantis as well, so either start of season 8.
Cool.
So that'll be our next one. So anyone that wants to follow along with us, you've got a lot to watch, but we can't tell you at all when. But I don't think you can watch as quick as Stuart. No offense to them. Stuart's a beast. And where are you up to now, though? Be honest in your watch. Okay, let me guess. Season 4, episode 3.
No, I don't think we're that far.
They
guess. Just went to hell.
Sokar was killed.
And Sokar was killed. So the devil you know, I think, is the episode, which is episode 13 in season 3.
After
so
Jolinar's memories.
Yeah.
Yep. The Neonak. First prime of Sokar. No, Neonak's first prime of the other guy. The other guy's name is... Oh, goodness. He's fat, obviously. He's a glutton. What's his name? You just watched it.
I don't know.
Yeah, the guy with one eye gouged out.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I'm bad with names, as you know.
I got a Neonak, and who the hell would get that? He says it once, and it doesn't matter after he says it. Well, I'm sure you guys are telling me already. Bainar, yes. You got Sokar, Bainar, Neonak. And then bald guy.
Yeah.
He's a...
Yeah.
Stuart, didn't you think my thumbnail of this season was really, like, everyone looked very dramatic? Like, first season, they were, like, chill. This was just, like, everyone's grimacing.
Yeah.
I had to find close-ups. It was really hard, actually. I don't know. It's actually quite a light season as well, but it was like, yep, I guess everyone's grumpy today. Oh.
Selmac made Jacob a better dad, puts in $10.
Yep. Well said.
I'm an SG1 fan. You think? There is nothing Cruvis with my Fron. Undomesticated equines could not remove me. You have doubts? Sweet. General permission to beat the crap out of this man.
I mean, you've already seen Cruvis, so you should understand Cruvis.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Ozzy Medeiros, $5. All hail the Super General Foley and Superior Commander today. Ooh. Episode brought to you by SG1 Fertilizer Skeleton Hands. 117, that is 47 degrees Celsius with humidity. Oh. Damn. It's actually really nice today. So it's like nice temperate. Not hot. It's great.
It's been quite a lot warmer than average today, but my aircon's been good, but it's not been like... I think the humid's been a medium, so it's kind of like a bit annoying, but it's not like killing me inside. I don't like heat anyway, but, you know.
All right.
I'm going to start sharing. That's what I'm going to do.
You start sharing, and I'll talk to the people about the super chats so they can get through the gate. If you want to get your comment or question through the gate so that we can see it and read it, so everybody can see it, super chats are a great way to do that. Otherwise, you can join the channel at the rank of Commander, Captain, or Admiral. And yeah, I mean, as you guys know, there's the links down below for Teespring store, for the Eaglemoss. There's a new Eaglemoss code and a new Eaglemoss episode coming out tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. So those are great. But you can use the discount code Trekyards 10. If you use the Eaglemoss link down in the description, click that to go there so they can track it. And then you use the discount code Trekyards 10. Save yourself some money off of your off of your orders, and helps you guys out and us as well. So if you can, please do. List of joke. I got my Orville XL model today. Really? I didn't think they had launched the Orville yet. I can't get any Orville stuff yet because it's not available here. So I'll get that as soon as it first comes out. So, and also the Teespring stores down there, or you can send us a PayPal as well, or head on over to Trekyards.com, use the donate button, which is another way to donate to the channel. Just let us know in the chat that you've sent a PayPal, and we will read out your comment or question via email. And yeah. Fleetpaw Swiftback, $5 here. Colonel Foley, have some money. I think that's backwards as far as ranking goes, but I guess considering he knows more about... Oh, wait a minute. No, Colonel... Yeah, you're right. Colonel's higher than...
Major.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So yeah, perfect. But he's Captain Cockings. I don't want to promote him to Major yet. I'm just saying. Anywho... List of Jericho, the XL model is out in the UK now, so is the XL Discovery. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, the UK gets it first because it's UK companies, so yeah.
Yeah. So Stuart, first reaction to Stargate SG-1 Season 2. Is that how that works? In a full season retrospective.
It's good. It's really good. I think Season 3's off to a good start too, so I mean, you're right. It's definitely a different. They've moved away from what I'd seen a lot of in Season 1, and it's kind of it's getting its own thing now. So yeah.
And you would you see why it's mentioned about how it got. You'd agree Season 2 is quite a big level of improvement in Season 1, even though Season 1's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any, before we go into specific any standout moments that you're just like, that was pretty fucking good? And obviously, guys, full spoilers, obviously. I mean, we're not going to hold anything back. And do look at the episode list. But anything that you're just like, that is a really good moment, that just like springs out before we even go through them.
Definitely the message in a bottle one where O'Neill gets pinned to the wall by the alien device. I love that moment.
As in the whole episode, or just like the oh my god moment?
The whole episode, but
okay.
that I saw that coming like a second before. It's like, get the fuck out of there. The whole Tok'ra thing was awesome. I gotta say. And it feels there's a lot of great episodes.
Yeah, and would you agree that the season feels as if they thought it all the way through? Like even in Season 1, you can see things that obviously already come back. Like it feels like a very like as if it was all planned. Would you agree? It kind of has that vibe.
Absolutely, and I think that's the best way to do a series like this. So, but I gotta say, one of the standout episodes for me in this season was 1969, because I had seen that one before,
but without the context of the characters.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's time travel, right? So, I'd seen it before when Sylvia was doing one of her watch-throughs, and I really liked that episode. I like time travel episodes, even in Star Trek, so that was good. So.
And obviously, we get a Kirk and Skywalker reference.
Yep, and I'm thinking 1969, Star Trek's been out for a few years. I think that's when he realized it and changed it to Luke Skywalker. Because, yeah, they wouldn't know anything about that.
But obviously Canadian and military, I don't know if, it wouldn't necessarily get to Jarl people. Oh, no, I guess it's not Canadian, so it was made in Canada, but no, they're American.
Yeah.
Lucky the guy wasn't a Star Trek fan, yeah. That would have been kind of funny. Went off the TV, nope. And that one's obviously fun because it takes you. It's a very character-based story, but it also is a very logical story. And obviously, the go into the future is quite an odd ending. It's like they kind of failed as well.
Yeah. Yep.
But they're not.
And just the young Hammond thing in the note was great. But we're just kind of talking about out of turn.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But it just takes away all of the suspense from Season 1, because the whole time. General Hammond is like, where's SG-1? Are they okay? Are they coming? Well, they're okay because you haven't sent them on this other mission yet. So it takes all the fun, all the tension out of Season 1 for me, because it's like you've been waiting for this specific mission where it's going to happen, and I mean, that's, the writers didn't know that, obviously, but
I
you know
guess,
what I mean, though.
yeah.
Like, it would be on his mind because he'd know who they are, obviously. But yeah,
I mean, we've got to, these take place over a year, and so it's two. That's right at the end. So I say 2 years. Yes, he knows that's going to happen, but is it literally going to be on his mind every single day? Like you can't live with that stress every day. So I imagine at a certain point he's not going to think about it as much, and obviously he's going to get in. He's going to get into the zone of whatever situation.
Yeah, but when SG-1 doesn't come back, or somebody doesn't come back from the team, he knows that everything's going to be fine in the end, because it's like, I haven't sent them on that mission yet where I meet them in the past. I don't know. It takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails of some of the episodes prior.
Although I think for the most part, season 1 there isn't much. There isn't as many. Oh my god, are they going to come back? Like, there's really only 1, maybe 2, 3. They kind of stay with that. Later on, we get more of that.
I think there's maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But still, it was. Yeah.
Time paradox.
That's one of the things that kind of bothers me a little bit. But it's all in the writing. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of. I mean, this season is world building the season, really, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Guys, any thoughts, comments? Please super chat and please like. I'd love to have some viewer questions with Stuart on his thoughts on specific things, because, boy, so many cool things in this season.
Keep in mind that I'm not good with names, so you say a name, I might not know specifically who you're talking about. I might need some help in that regard.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, just say the episode and the scene, I'll know exactly who you're talking about pretty quickly. But let's jump in then, and we avoided, I avoided talking about this last time, but part 2 of whatever it was called. What was it called? I've got pictures, not names. Within the Serpent's Grasp 2?
No, this one's a Serpent's Lair.
Serpent's Lair, okay. Yeah, so yeah. It's revealed there's 2 ships coming into orbit of Earth. It's Apophis and Chlorel. They're captured. 2 of them are captured, 2 of them aren't. We get some good Apophis stuff. We get a lot of Apophis stuff. We get, we're going to bomb the planet, but then also Chlorel gets injured, and they wait for him, and then Earth attacks them with a missile, and it doesn't work. He gets his shields, and then Braytek comes in, they bomb it up, and they bomb it with grenades, and they leave. So what do you think of the part 2? I know you watched it back to back, but if you can sort of separate them, what do you think of this part?
I'd say better than part 1. I enjoyed it quite a bit more. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I'm just trying to remember back now because we watched that a while ago.
And it was kind of a movie. Well, this is why I want to. This is why you shouldn't go for a horn. But yeah.
Hey. No, it was good, and the escaping with the Death Gliders, which were out of commission essentially because of the explosion. Yep. I love that, and then it's like, yeah. But yeah, the fact that there was 2 ships was. And then the explosions in the night sky, which gets referred to later. Yep. Which is great because you don't want everybody to know what's going on Earth, but not much they can do about it.
Yeah, I think the Braytek reveal was pretty great, given that he was an outcast, then suddenly he's back. It's like he had to do some real shit to get as First Prime again, and then he betrays them again. Yeah. I like one of his lines is like, if he was a god. If he was really a god, he would know I'm here just to betray him. It's a good bit of logic there.
Yep.
How could he be fooled?
Yep.
Don't know. Yeah.
Not gods.
Not gods. And what do you think of Apophis in this one? Because he's got a lot more character in this one, more personality.
Still a douche. He's well played. He's a good bad guy for sure. But menacing too, I think. Yeah. Like you get the sense that he's just not stable. He's just not quite all there.
Well, he's the sort of guy that can go from like very looking at you with resentment to then jump to kill him and then back down again in a second. Like he'll go from the 0 to 100. What do you think of the? I mean, I laughed about it in my introduction there, but the whole we've got a plan. We're gonna fire missiles. They're gonna win. They're gonna win. And it's just like. Shields? Yeah, shields. We're fine.
Yeah, typical. It's like Independence Day,
Yes!
We think we have the upper hand and just not.
Oh, they can't detect it. They're stealth missiles. There's no way.
Yeah. Yep. Saw that coming.
But it's satisfying, isn't it? Because you're wondering what
It
Earth's
is,
doing,
yeah.
and that's all they can do. Like, they can't exactly launch the Enterprise, can they? There's no Enterprise E to
Wow.
come in at the last minute. And then, yeah, Chlorel. I mean, Skara comes, gets shot and gets revived, and then, pretty sad, the whole Skara arc, because he's clearly a nice kid and he's doing all these horrible things,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So his arc's finished now, I assume. Yes.
This part of his arc is finished now.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And then obviously Daniel gets shot, revives him, saves his own life, and then leaves just at the nick of time. I love that. I love that ending. It's like, Daniel's dead! We think he's dead again! Like, often!
Yep.
Nope, he's
Well,
fine.
this is one of those moments where Hammond's like, "Where's the SG team?" Because I don't think they knew they were on the ship yet, because they went through the gate and they didn't know
Yep.
there was a.
Well, how
And
could
it's one
they?
of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things like, well, they're going to be fine. I don't know. It's just one of those things. But I do think it's great. It's great that they have the Stargates on ships. I mean, that makes sense.
Mhm.
But
I mean, even if it's just to stop them from dialing out, I mean, that in itself is enough. And also, yeah, you're out of focus. But yeah, I think as a start to a season, it's incredibly strong because it just, like I said to you last time, the fact they built all the sets with season 1 budget, but they were just some pretty elaborate effects. Start of focus, sorry. For season 2.
I don't know why.
Oh.
Focus. Focus. All right, that's not working.
Oh.
Sorry.
of the... Oh, I guess you have to stay there, aren't you? Yeah, I think as a season starter, it's really strong. And it is, like I say, this is definitely a better than Best of Both Worlds two-parter. And it's just a really good, like... I mean, it is a bit... The only problem with this episode is that the scale of this attack is quite silly when you look at later seasons. Because, like, he's a system lord, and 2 ships is impressive now, because there's only... This is, oh my god, 2, but in reality, he should have sent, like, 15, and that would have been not even a huge part of his fleet. That's the only thing, this the problem with this. I know he doesn't think of Earth as much of a threat, fine, but it's just like... Oh, you sent 2. Cool.
It's on the Earth. It's on the Earth.
That's what I mean.
Primitive.
Yeah. Well, what could... I mean, they could do nothing. I mean, the Earth did nothing. It was only the on the ship. But anyway, so that was a great episode. I love the mothership design. I always will. But then we get straight into the introduction of the Tok'ra, Jolinar, and the assassin, and they're called... Ooh, with the laser... What are they called? Asherak. Boom! What do you think of this one, then? The Carter Goes Evil one. Sort of!
It was all right. I didn't know that just anybody could have a Gould in them and have it be removed or taken out.
Well, I mean,
But-
it sacrifices itself so she doesn't die. The Gould has to make conscious effort, so most Gould will kill their host. That one chose to keep the host alive.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was all right. It's typical, evil good character, but it was done well. And that one I don't remember much of that episode, to be honest. Which I'm thinking now, but
it's funny. It means more once you've seen the ones in Hell. Obviously, they are directly linked. So now it should mean more now.
Yeah.
It'd be worth a second watch because it's interesting to see. Because this is the new again to Tok'ra, and so for this is a very gentle introduction because you're just like, oh my god, it's an evil person like Kowalski, and then you're like, wait. Because weren't you a bit like surprised that it wasn't an evil one, like that balance? Because it must be quite a like, oh, Kowalski again, shit, and then it really isn't.
I wasn't surprised, no, because like I said, I've seen other episodes from other seasons. So, but what's the guy's name that was in love with Jolinar?
Martouf, yeah.
Martouf.
Or Lantash. Technically, it's Lantash. No, wait. No, Lantash is the host. No, is Lantash? No, Lantash is... Well, they both were, but it was more the... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yes, that one.
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder if him and Samantha were developing the thing, and I think that's kind of carried over a little bit into season 3.
Oh, yeah.
Just with that episode that I just watched, right?
Yeah.
So...
I mean, Stargate is one of those shows where it's never been about the romance. and so they never commit to those. They'd rather kind of like, because they're also all professionals. I mean, how could you have a relationship with an alien who shares a body on another planet? Like, they couldn't exactly go dating, could they? So it's more like the romantic stuff in between things. But yeah, it's definitely one of those like avenues. And then the Asherak, the whole assassin that's got a laser and can, you know, pretty powerful dude.
Thinking.
Some nurses and such.
I can't remember what he looks like though.
Generic male. That's fine.
Oh, well, that's why then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah. I also like this one because you get the intro is really good with the Death Gliders. It's a very like, you know, for what it was at the time, it was quite an impactful thing. And then I don't really care about stuff at the hospital, but also grounds it even more that they saved these aliens, brought them to Earth, and then like how do you deal with that? And they because they take over, the Asherak is burned, healed, takes over the Doctor. You see the side that you never see before, which is let's deal with the repercussions and yeah.
60 people here and only 39 likes, guys. Come on, let's get those like numbers up. And if you want a super chat, comment or question to me or whatever, what I thought of something, please do so.
That is shocking to me. And guys, do super chat. Love to hear your comments and thoughts. But the next episode, and I do like this one, but it's more of like a part 1 of the Tok'ra arc. Prisoners or something of the ilk, or escape artist.
Yeah, it's prisoners. Yeah.
Go with the first gut. What do you
think? Interesting using a Stargate destination as a prison, and this one definitely ties in with another one that I just saw too, which we're not supposed to know about. Secret.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one I didn't see coming. That's such a weird. Yeah. That's a weird one. That one. Yeah.
That's just funny how the prisoners are like, oh, this is our way to get out of here, and just all stuff is their shoes.
Yeah. Well, if you don't understand it, why would you?
Yeah, and even when they finally do escape, I mean, they wrecked their food trough.
Yep.
When they escape, that's not very nice. Like, why would you do that? But the food coming through is quite interesting as well. Like, that's actually a great idea for a prison.
I mean, it's flawless because you can't go through an open wormhole, so they literally it's a one-way door.
Yeah. And
that's it. There's no other way,
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I remember. It's something I watched a little bit later as well. I think the way they do the sets, it's a very it creates a mood very successfully. Like it feels weird and off kilter, but it's not like just underground. It's organic, and we see from the it's a weird one. It feels weird. It acts weird, and I think even though obviously they're going to escape, they do create a good vibe of how do we. Like there is like a no-win scenario bit until a certain point. I think does a good job in creating that.
I like how there's like the head guy that hands out the food, and eventually that becomes Daniel, and he's like, nope, them first.
Satisfying. And that slop just looks so disgusting, but you understand how hungry they are. It's really effective. And then the fact that she walks in, it's like, oh, her first. She gets her first bit of slop, and then thank you. Because she's the destroyer.
Yep.
What do you think of that reveal? This nice old lady that knows alchemy. She's a murderer of mass proportion.
Yeah, that was actually a reveal. That was a good shock. So, and yeah, the follow up for that, which we'll talk about later, is quite interesting as well. So,
what I like about the reveal is it doesn't mean anything in the context of the episode. It just gives you context. It doesn't change it at all. So it's just like a wait, what? I didn't need to be there. Just like I don't think they planned to bring it back necessarily. Like I hadn't written that already, but it's just like let's spice this, like it's missing something. Let's make a mass murderer. And there we go. That's the spice on the top of the cake. Jeez.
Yeah. No, it was an interesting episode. I like that one.
It does remind me though of the episode in Voyager where they're on the space station, and they get the food down the tunnel, and eventually Tom and everyone's got like things in them to make them go even more aggressive, and they get fed down a tube. Kind of reminds me of that one. Obviously, very different, but in a similar sort of like there is no way to escape. How do you escape from a space station? You don't.
Yeah.
Fleet
Pass Swiftback, $2.50. Martov was the host. Lancet was the symbiote.
Martooth and Lantash, yes. I thought so.
Right.
Yeah. The shoot, yeah. Nice. Next episode was
James McGill, $5.
Thank
Too bad SG1 didn't have a malfunctioning Stargate jump to Trekverse. Would have loved to see them interact with Star Trek main characters. It could have easily been done, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, hey, more Stargate at some point, and then that's why fan films are around.
Yep.
You need that sort of cross license that really permissions they don't want to do. But
cross one with one. Don't cross one with 5 or 6 others like I see a lot of these space battles do. Stop that.
You stop it. But speaking of one-on-one crossover, Reginald Barkley in Stargate. What better segue? What do you think of this one, the Gamekeeper?
This was good. I liked seeing him in this one, and seeing kind of the past of the characters.
Yep.
Or pivotal moments, I guess,
Yep.
in their life. Especially Daniel's was quite
Horrifying.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, when he turns away from it because he can't watch it anymore, you really feel that. It's like, oh.
Yeah. No, this was a good one. But I was kind of unsatisfied with the way it ended, but yeah.
Well, how would you have liked it end?
I'm not sure. It just, I don't know. Something about the ending that just kind of bothered me a little bit. I can't quite put my finger on it. Just poor Barkley.
Did you want a bit more comeuppance for him then? Just like a little bit more?
Yeah, I would actually.
Or would you have liked they put him in it, like the last scene is him having to relive something?
Yep, that would have been good too.
But the problem, he's not a villain. Like he's a gardener that doesn't like people messing with his shit, and he has managed to make the planet lovely. Like that's the thing. He's not a villain. He's just a guy that he knows that people are a bit shit.
So it's Barkley playing Boothby.
Yes, love it. And little side note, I've actually been to the botanical gardens that this is filmed at, so that was quite fun to walk around. And actually, I remember we sat on a bench that you can see in one of the scenes, and there was a really loud parrot that would not stop. Really changed the mood when you're thinking, "Oh, I'm going through a Stargate." Nope, parrot.
Jeff Jacobs, 251.
Jeff.
Welcome back, Jeff. Good to see you.
Oh, okay.
Woot woot, 50 plus. Everyone get on the like bus. Hashtag make Jeff pay. Oh, we've missed your little idiosyncrasies in your super chats.
The MJP. Should definitely make a shirt MJP and send it just to him.
Yeah.
One of one. It's a hashtag one. I think this is I think it's a really good episode. Like, it's a very good sci-fi concept. It's thoroughly grounded in the characters. So it's not, the concept is the medium to allow them to deal with a character issue, so where Stargate does better than Star Trek in a lot of the ways. Like, if this was Voyager, there would be memories that don't matter and don't mean anything. But this is some real shit. And getting to see Kowalski back, so at least when I watch it, it's a surprising note of, oh man, like he's just died. But they love the cast so much. And actually, we forgot to mention this last time, we met Kowalski, if you recall, outside his house with his shoes.
Yes, I got a picture with him. Didn't know who the hell he was at the time, but I'm like, I'm gonna know someday, so I got a picture with the guy.
Now you know who he is. Yeah. No, I think this.
Oh, that's cool.
No, I think Barkley is brilliant in this. Like, really, really good, and the scenarios are really good, and even the action, like, it's a really satisfying episode for me. And it's clever. It's a really clever concept. I think it's one of their best one-offs. Like, for good sci-fi, grounded, character-based in their prime. You know, you have a lot of ones that are based on other concepts. I think this is a simple and effective one. That's just, I think super effective. Yeah,
it's a good one.
Definitely stands out.
And to see good actors like Barkley, or Dwight. Sorry,
yes, Dwight Schultz. The next one, The Need, which I actually watched very recently for some reason. The Need.
Daniel goes a little bit off the rails, all because of the sarcophagus. Doesn't need glasses anymore. I mean, that's positive, right? I love it. It's like, I'll get you out of here. Don't worry. I got things to do though. It's like, help us.
I got babes to kiss, food to eat. Daniel, we're dying. Yeah. But there's a steak for dinner, and I really want it. So you're gonna keep digging. Steak.
Yeah, pretty much. That's great. um, no, this one was all right. It's always good to see a character kind of do a turn like that, and he did it very well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're kind of wondering, like, what the hell is going on? Why, your friends need help, and it's a simple way to fix it. I mean, you can just talk to, the princess or her dad.
They're right there. Yeah. You keep seeing them.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's menacing.
Yeah, it's an unexpected turn for the, like you said. I mean, he goes to the dark side, legitimately does, and you feel it. This one I also I watched it once when I was young and never really again until I watched it later. This feels like a later season one because it's so cavalier with how they use the Gould tech that feels very later season. Because having just seen Daniel in season 1, it's a big thing, and something was right here, and there's a pyramid right there. Like, it's a bit weird, just to be that cavalier. But yeah, Shanks' acting is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good in this one. And I think they don't give you a sense of how long has passed, but you get the sense that, like, potentially a week or 2 or 3. Like these guys have lost a lot of weight. I'm guessing they've ground to the bone. These are not okay people. I mean, maybe days, but I would assume like a week or 2. And the lady, I mean, come on, it starts with her trying to commit suicide, and she basically threatens it again. It's a really sad story, and it's a good way of also teaching you about the universe. Because do you feel now that you know the sarcophagus actually makes you immoral? How does that make you feel about the Gould? This is only season 2. Like, this is a science reason. What do you think about that?
That's interesting. I never really considered that.
If they have to use it to keep themselves alive, but the more they use it, the more evil they are. But they have to use it to keep themselves alive. Keeps them evil.
They're really good people. That's why they were part of the original 5 or whatever.
No, they were not. No. But do you know what I mean? Like, it really is kind of like gives you a sense of, well, they might have been one thing at one point, but now 1,000 years have passed. 1,000 years of constant destruction of their cells.
I never considered that. That's good.
So it's really, this is a smart show, Stuart. It's a real smart show. Yeah.
Selmac made Jacob a better dad, puts in $2. No sarcophagus for broccoli. They'll get addicted.
Yeah. And it's also a good addiction tale. Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
For what it is. I love his outfit. So good.
Yeah.
So just
and I do want a sarcophagus, just saying.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
I like that. Just don't need the glasses, yeah. But it also shows it's the temporary effect. Like, it can solve an immediate wound if you want to feel better. That's what a drug does. It makes you feel better. But, so you shouldn't use it that way. And you wonder which race designed it originally. That's kind of that's never really worked out. It probably was just like a hyper spray full of drugs just to heal you at one time. But you shouldn't take them every day. It's a tool for actual healing. We get sort of an origin. Well, I guess we do, but not this specific. No, I guess it was Teltrack. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Yeah, this whole thing about that. I've forgotten season 8, but yeah, good one. I think it's slightly weaker overall, but it's got a really strong through line that is unusual. It's a different sort of episode, so it's like, okay, don't think it's a fun one to watch, but it's a different sort of episode,
Yeah. No, it was enjoyable. I like this one. I really liked Michael Shanks in it. He did a great job.
And I think seeing Jack being so defeated, like, he's always the peppy we can get out of here, and he is literally, like, he is defeated in this episode. He is down to his absolute last breath. That is hard to watch,
Yeah. So next up is Thor's Chariot.
Yes.
Because they destroyed Thor's hammer, the Gould can go back to that planet.
Which Gould? Which Gould was that? Do you remember?
No.
Herua.
Okay.
Sorry, continue.
I'm just trying. Is this the one that ends where they meet the Asgardian?
No, but they get Freyr. Their name's Freyr, beaming down saying, "Hi. They say you screwed up, but don't worry, it's gonna be fixed now." But you see the ship. The ship's the important thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Another alien race ship for the first time. Ah.
Yeah. So, just to clarify, this is the one with the puzzles on the wall
Yes.
with the pi and the radius
Yes.
and
It's
yeah.
intended it's intended for them to make contact with Asgard eventually, and then they kind of get there first, and they're like, "Wait, what? You weren't meant to do that. You cheated." Yes, because we're making a signal.
I loved the ending of this episode. That was great. Yeah, and just to see the lady from Thor's hammer through the Stargate when they was cool. I mean, you know, tying them into other episodes. I love that. I love that continuity. So
yeah, you realize how not shy they are. I mean, this is a sequel to season 1 episode. We're only in season 2. Like, that's really cool, actually.
And Vance 1982 puts in $5. It was Thor, not Freya.
No, because
And Raj, this isn't the one where Thor was introduced. He was introduced in Thor's hammer.
Well,
we never see the Asgardian, like, yeah, we never
the
see
idea of Thor. Let me go back, because I don't think we see. I don't know if we see Asgard Man in this episode, because I remember that. No, we must do. We must do, but then it's that they talk to them more in Fifth Race, because that isn't the reveal. That's So it goes from the hologram of Thor to Little Thor. Yeah. So what do you think of the little green men or grey men?
I've seen them before.
Yes.
I think their eyes and their mouth move kind of funny.
Well, they are puppets, so.
I know, but I love that they're basically the Greys that we got at Roswell kind of thing. That's cool. No, that's cool.
It's such a nice little meta joke. It's like, what should we make this special mega race? Let's make like 65-70% just the classic Gradians. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, good idea. Let's see. Yes, we do get Welcome to Thor. And they're like, wait, what? What did you guys do? You broke the hammer? Oh, for God's sake. It's a good moment. And yeah, cool to see another Gould. Everywhere. A lot of Gould and Jafar. And what a cool ending though, to see the mothership. I mean, I assume we didn't see that coming, the mothership coming down and literally just, well, they don't kill, but they beam the entire 3 ships worth of, 3 ships worth of troops. They beam it. How cool is that as an ending?
No, it's great. Yeah. And seeing the ship was very cool. Out of the sky.
Very satisfying.
And it's very satisfying.
And it's a great, there's gonna be more shit to come. To that point, we've only ever seen the Gould ships. It's like it's just a slow evolution of stuff. We're gonna get more and more stuff like that. This isn't my favourite one to watch, but I think the ending and the stuff with Daniel is so good. I think the Jack stuff isn't as interesting, but yeah, the other stuff's really good.
Yeah. Tangerine Star 26, £2. This was a big turning point for the whole series.
Yep. I mean, if the Gould have been, if in the first episode of the season we weren't able to destroy 2 ships without being inside them, and one crashing into the other, and this ship can take out 3, grounded pyramids and all the people, that's a whole nother level, isn't it? We thought the Gould were bad. Well, hey, these guys. It's a good symbol. But next one is one you like, Message in a Bottle. Not the one with Prometheus, sadly, but the one with the thing.
And it's great. There's nothing on this planet. They find this artifact. They bring it back. They're studying it. And they try to get it through the gate, but yeah. And I assume it's generating a lot of heat. That's one of the reasons that he's so I mean, obviously getting stabbed through the chest is not freezing. But
it's not great.
No. Yeah. And I love the solution. Stop depriving it of what it wants. Give it what it needs so that it can actually communicate with us. And even the cutting through of it, and the time they take to cut through it, and they just wasted all their time. No, this is a fantastic one. I do love seeing this stuff spreading through the concrete and
really feels like a disease, doesn't it?
Yeah. Trying to remember exactly how it ended, though. I know that
Well, they have a timer that they say trust us, we'll take you back, and they take it back.
Yeah.
I think.
I think so. I remember liking the episode and the whole premise of like instead of depriving it and trying to destroy it or get rid of it, we need to communicate with it and give it what it wants.
Well, it's an entity. I mean,
which is a risk. Yeah.
I mean, you nicked it. I mean, this is a time capsule of their race.
Yeah.
All it wants to do is stay where it is, and so yeah, they send it back, and they're okay. No, it's a good subvert expectations, because the episode is just like, it feels like classic super weapon one, you know, but it isn't. It's a it's a thing of you nicked this time capsule of a people. Please don't do that. You know, yeah, it's good.
It's got a Star Trek vibe to it, like communicating with, you know. I like that. I like that.
It's also a very good example of a bottle show, and even just a room show in essence.
It actually reminded me of the Enterprise episode where Malcolm gets like stuck to the hull with the mine.
Yeah.
The mine goes through his legs.
Yeah.
Not the same premise overall as the show, but
yeah,
just that situation.
That's funny. No, that's very true. And is this one's sort of ones where it shows you how good the actual SGC sets are in terms of look, vibe, production value. That holds up. They can spend a whole episode in just basically one room, give or take. It still looks great. You know, it's still interesting. Really good.
Even though it's just gray concrete walls.
Yes, but it's got scale and depth.
Yeah.
And it's just good. There's massive ass machine guns.
Yeah, the sets are very impressive, I gotta say.
And they're just replicas of the movie, but with a few tweaks. You know what I mean? They were faithful, and yet they did their own thing. That's how you do it. Next episode, though, the triumphant return of Ryak and Mum. And the Zat-3 disintegration effect used once again. Family.
He's alright. Little bastard, though. Little kid.
Why that? Why Stuart?
I don't know, something as a parent, with you, if your kid ever did that and betrayed you like that, you just want to, I don't know. It would just suck.
He was brainwashed.
I know. I'm aware. But even the mom, like, well, you left Teal'c.
Yep.
You know, so she's with this other guy.
Yeah.
Who dies, which is fine.
He's a bit of a dick.
There's a lot going on in this episode.
Yeah.
And, Apophis is an asshole. But we already knew that. I don't know. This one was all right. Again, don't really give a shit about Teal'c's family.
Better in this episode than last episode, though? The family?
This one's better, for sure. For me, anyway. But
yeah, this was... It is one that the screen cap doesn't do it justice. Because it's got Ryak, it's got Braytak, it's got all these cool, planet sets that feel very apt. You really get a sense of the Jafar culture. You meet lots of people. You get a lot of... It's very internal. You get Apophis in it again, sort of. They talk about the politics. You destroy Apophis's ship. There's a power vacuum. A lot of his best men were on those ships, and he destroyed them. So the power vacuum, his best men are gone.
Yeah.
But then he steals Ryak and to revenge. It's such quite a deep story. And then the disintegration stuff happens in this one. Never really again, but... And then it was all a plan that Ryak is willing to kill himself to destroy the Stargate. Like, it's a pretty... Like, it's actually got a lot in it, and you don't realise until you, start scrolling as I'm doing. So, there's actually... It's a lot in this episode.
I need whatever you're looking at for reminders.
I know, sorry. And it's good, because it's not just for the sake of it. This isn't a new race. This is all Gould and Jafar creation, a backstory, and a vibe. It all adds upon layers. They aren't just always warriors. They aren't just always guys that shoot. They have got their own culture and their own ideas and principles. It's definitely not one of the strongest ones, but as another window into the culture, it's really well done for that.
Next one's Secrets.
The triumphant return of Abydos and what's her name? I should remember her name. What's her name? Shaka. No.
Shari.
And her dad, Kasuf. I knew him.
Yeah.
What do you think of this one? And Heruer and Apophis. They're all in it as well.
This is the one with them getting medals and with the reporter. Is that the one? I know that she's pregnant.
Yes, the medals and the
kid.
reporter getting run over, and introduction of Sam's
Yes.
dad. Yeah.
That's all in the same episode?
Yes.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember more of the Earth stuff. That's the O'Neill 2 L's.
It is.
There's another one with the 1 L, and he's kind of an asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this one's great. I love the reporter, kind of cluing in on the Stargate, and Jack O'Neill's kind of like, I'm playing stupid, which is great. And then he kind of suspects, that Hammond might have been responsible as well for the guy getting hit by a car. I like that aspect of it. As far as the Abydos stuff, I mean, it's good. She's not really the Gould Insider has backed off because she's pregnant,
which is interesting as a concept.
Yeah. So it's good to see her and
Daniel.
Yeah, Jackson back together, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's a good one. This is a good one. I remembered more of the other plot though. I didn't think it was the same episode, to be honest. But yeah, so she gives birth, and they basically hide the kid. Fleet Paw Swiftback, $5. Is it the same actor that played the tribe leader guy in the movie? Yes. Yep.
Still Kasuf. Great little character actor. Yeah, this one's a weird one because it honestly, you're meant to care about the wife storyline, but she's in it so infrequently and referenced so infrequently, and Daniel doesn't even have remorse really so infrequently that you're just like, oh yeah, he's actually searching for his wife. Going great, isn't it, Daniel? Like, it's such a small... But, I mean, it would have been annoying if it had been, like, every other episode. Jack. Yes, Daniel. My wife's gone. Yeah, I know, Daniel. I was there. But she's... You know what I mean? So I get that, and it's a small part. But it isn't as satisfying as it should be. I don't know why. That said, it's kind of good it was a half episode. Like, they just did, they did a story. And they had everyone in it. And it was cool. And you got introduced. Well, you got Horace Guards with big helmets that decompress, whatever. And then the real introducing to Carla's dad. I mean, obviously you didn't know where that was going, but that's quite a little like she's. Come on, Sam, I get you to NASA. One day you can go to space. She's like, nah, Dad. You've always wanted to go to space. Why are you there looking at satellites, Dad? No, oh my God, I hate you. I hate you too.
And I just would have been like, you're my dad, I'm going to tell you what's up. So here's what's up.
I fought in a space battle in orbit like a week ago. What?
Yeah, I saved Earth, so it's fine.
But obviously this is the setup to an episode in like 3 episodes, so it makes sense. Basically next. A lot, but it's like a big arc one, and yet still somewhat not amazing. Although I'd love to know, like, the Abydos set, the gate room bit, always looks good. Do they just have those blocks in a warehouse? Because it's rebuilt perfectly. They only use it like 6 times, but it's like it's not a standing set. So how do they it's like those pillars. Where were those pillars during filming? Just in a corner, It's quite an elaborate set.
Like I've said from the beginning, I love the sets. I love the props in this. It's so well done, and they don't chimp out when it comes to, or cheap out when it comes to alien sets. Like, they're very impressive and grandiose, and all the power to them.
And also not green screen. Like, this is the era of real. So you look at things like Defiance or Sanctuary or later Star Treks. I mean, they might be impressive in look at this computer, but these are really built things. So even though they later when Apophis crash landed and dying, like, they still went out to real deserty bits. Like, it might. You know what I mean? It's not two people like Picard. They didn't just have a soundstage and look, there's an alien desert. They just went to a desert. Like, it's impressive because it's real. Feels real. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Harthsis. Sorry, that was the big point of the episode. What do you think about the idea of the Harthsis? About if 2 Goulds get nasty and actually create a real child, that child has all the knowledge of the Gould, which you would think would be a thing that they do all the time, but I guess not.
Yeah.
I mean, quite a reveal, really.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. How soon can you get this information from the child is my question. But
we'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting. But yeah, you'd think it'd happen more often. That's all.
But what's weird?
Even though even though it was it's looked down on. Is that they
Well,
don't want you to do it.
I mean, they get killed. I mean, they get just whoever's the biggest ghoul just gets them killed. But it's weird because there are Gould queens, as we know, but she's not a queen. She's just a normal non-gendered queen, so she's a normal non-gendered Gould that prefers taking female hosts to be with her chosen mate, who prefers taking male hosts. So it's two non-gendered beings making a baby based on human biology, whereas a Gould queen obviously does genetic memory through breeding. So
Yeah.
And what I mean, come on, for Daniel, it's like, I'm having a baby with Apophis, and he's also a super mutant, and we have to protect him. Oh god, Daniel, it's really not fun, is it?
No.
But yeah, there we go. Then on to the Tilk's got a thing on his back episode. The episode Bane, yes.
The giant dragonflies, essentially.
Yes.
This one was all right. Again, it felt very Star Trek. It felt like the episode of Voyager where B'Elanna had the thing on her, the big insect that was like intertwining with her nervous system.
Yeah.
I got that same kind of visuals there, but yeah, having to go back and get more of them. I mean, this is just it's a quick. As far as I'm concerned, this is a quick, not tying into anything episode.
Yep.
And it's well done, but it does remind me very much of Star Trek. This one.
Yeah, this one is much more just like a sci-fi concept of the week. Obviously, you got to give it up for Chris Judge's acting. A lot for him to act, but I don't think it brings much to the table. That said, you do get to see, dealing with a kid at the end, and he's in a cocoon. Like, it's interesting stuff. It's like, this is a bit weird. But yeah, it's not one of my favourites. It's definitely a forgettable one, besides the simple idea of Tilt gets alienified, sort of.
Yeah.
But again, good acting by Chris Judge. That's kind of where I give those credit for. But yeah, easy one to go through. Next one, Tok'ra Part 1. They go to a planet, because Carter is remembering things. They go to a planet. Instantly, stop! Who goes there? We were captured. We are not Goa'uld! You sound like Gould. Shut up. We're not. You're never leaving. You're stuck here. Wait, what? Yeah.
Oh, these two were great, and the main Tok'ra lady, she's from Conan the Destroyer. I was trying to place her when I first saw her, but that's who the actress is.
She was also one of the three Kryptonians in Superman, the one with the three of them.
Yep. No, this one's really good. You learn a lot of stuff in this one. I like their base with the tunnels that grow. Yeah, this one's good, and it's, I think the second part's better for me. There's like Sam's dad's dying of cancer, and it's like such a simple answer as to how to do this because they want hosts.
They need hosts.
We don't want to do that. And it's like, yeah, your disgust is evident and all this. It's like, guys, there's simple solutions to the problems, which they actually come to this conclusion to use her dad pretty fast, considering, but it's still frustrating. But I think part 2 is the best part, where he's sitting down with the old lady, and they're having the discussion back and forth about, I like him. That's fantastic. But then how do we do this? Kiss me. Really? Yes. I don't know. I think it's really, really well done. I liked it.
Yeah, it's I mean, also the sets. Those are cool sets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super atmospheric, and they get away with a lot with a very little. We actually have a Tok'ra crystal from those sets. They're polystyrene.
Ooh, cool.
No, it's great. I mean, as an evolution again of the world, these are the Tok'ra means rebellion. These guys fighting the Gould that aren't Gould. Links to Jolnar. It's a great connection that Mar 2 has with Sam. It's a really fun chemistry to add in the series. The dad thing, it just happened, but it feels very apt. It feels very like, ooh. But I mean, it's not just the fact that you're giving your body to a parasitical life form that will heal you, but also fuse with your brain, your body, your soul, and your spine, literally. But also we've only known them to be really bad and maniacal and evil. So it's also a promise of, well, what if that guy goes rogue? I mean, come on, Skara. The whole point was we need to save Skara and so it's not just the concept of it, it's what we've seen. We've only ever seen them kill lots of people. So why would you want that? Because at the end of the day, if they want to control you, you've got no choice. You're not an autonomous entity. I mean, would you give up, if you die of cancer, would you give up potentially your existence just to not have cancer and then possibly go and kill people for the rest of your life?
When you put it that way.
See?
But the knowledge that you're getting and being able to go to other planets and, I think it's cool. I would totally be on board. Especially if I was dying. If I was going to literally die any day now. That's a pretty simple answer, to be honest. But, yeah.
But some
now, if I was perfectly healthy and they offered me that, I'd be like, well... And that's where, Daniel's reaction and stuff comes into it, We're not disgusted by it, but, yeah.
I mean, and also, yeah, it's it's a snake. Literally a snake that enters your body, through your throat, goes down, cuts out of your esophagus, goes into your inner cavity and wraps around your spine. It's not good. It's not nice. But
that's not a good sales pitch, Samuel. You shouldn't be selling those.
But it's better than them literally, because it's got four claws, four beak things, stabbing into your neck, ripping your skin open, and then going in and then wrapping around. I mean, it's better than big scar on your. It's graphic, it's gruesome, but it's played in like I say, the lady is so nice, the old lady.
Yeah.
And yeah, the I like him's cute. It's like, well, I got to spend my rest of my life with him. Do I like him? Yeah, he's nice enough. Good, let's do it. Let's do it. Sure.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the whole they can lower their head and be each other's voices? What do you think about that whole gimmick?
I like that. I hate that they have to lower the head each time. But,
it's a symbolic thing, isn't it? But yeah.
And I can't stand the Goa'uld voices. It just annoys me so much.
Oh, I love it so much. Oh.
But yeah, it's good. I like that you still have yourself there. You're not taken over by this thing. So. Although
there is some sense of the Goa'uld is the default still, because you're in their camp, so you've sort of got to not necessarily ask permission, but the Goa'uld's got to let you take over. You can't force your way through, but if you start to want to, they can let you in, and the Goa'uld can stay dormant for a few hours. That's fine. So it's not necessarily a perfect union, but it's better than the Goa'uld. And the whole sarcophagus thing, they link that directly. These guys don't sarcophagus, so when they're dying, that's it, because they will go evil, and that addiction will kick in right away. Yeah. But yeah, part one. Then yes.
Spirits.
The wolves are alive with the sound of aliens. And SG-11 gets murdered once again. We are killed again.
This one's great. I love the Indian guy. Can we have our weapons back? Yeah. He's so chill. And then you got the spirits, the crow and the wolf, and I forget what the spirits were called.
Me too.
The Zells?
Oh. Zial. Oh yeah, Zial is one of the creatures.
Anyway, yeah, I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, that is some of the most impressive makeup I've seen, even on Star Trek, with their faces and the gills. That's freaky, man.
Yeah.
No, this is a fun episode. I do like the Indians, the Native American tribe. They're very cool.
And we get introduced to Naquadah, which is important. The mineral the Stargates are made of, it is naturally forming here, and we use it for bows and arrows and such. But you can mine it if you maybe sort of, because this shit is strong. I mean, the Goa'uld weapons are made out of it. The ships are made out of it. I mean, we need this shit again. Building the world, because we have to build this world. Stargates bring something in finally.
Yeah, and all your mining techniques are too destructive. Can't you just ask for it and let the spirits provide it when it comes down the river?
Yeah, we need more than that.
Trinium.
Oh, so trinium? Okay, trinium's okay. Trinium's the one.
Yeah.
No, this is a good one, and it's weird, but it's a Star Trek concept, but one they never thought to do, and so it feels kind of fresh. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I love how when they're talking to the spirits, um, Sam just doesn't get it. She
Yeah.
just, oh, okay, that's what it said, eh? And it reminded me very much of Voyager. Like that's something I could see Janeway in Sam's role in this one, because Janeway is very much, science and
Mm.
why things. There's a whole episode about it instead of the spiritualism part of it, right? And so I kind of got that vibe from it as well. So, yeah, it was really well done. I like this one very much.
And you get the double conceit. Not only are they fully shapeshifters, they can go bump and make you disappear. That's a pretty powerful, like,
Yeah.
don't know how. Doesn't matter. They're in onesies, silver onesies. They can just do shit. They're aliens. They're cool.
Yeah.
Powerful race, yeah. And they just want to look after some Native American people. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? Sure. Yeah, right. Touchstone, which is the NID and the anti-Stargate good guy introduction.
So this is the one where they have to find the other Stargate, which
It's not where it should be.
They think it's at Area 51. That dickhead other military guy, I can't remember his name.
No.
I don't know.
What? No. I've met him. I met them all, but.
Anyway, look, there's the Stargate. See, it's in a crate. It's like, yeah, cool. It's plastic. What?
which is great because they just hit the real prop. Like, it's plastic.
Yeah.
Like it's great. It's the same prop.
Oh, that's good. I still have questions about this one. I assume they'll be answered later, but I don't know. So like at the end, they jump through the gate as it's like down, like laying on its. So when you come through the other side, you come flying out.
Yep. Oh yeah. Broken
Damn.
wrists, broken. Yeah. But I mean, it's the only way, isn't it? I mean, think about it. If they're doing this, like, vroom,
Yeah.
then they'll go, vroom, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fun. This one I find is odd. I always forget about the touchstone bit. Like, they go to the planet and the weather, and they're all in costumes, and they're all on Earth for 92% of the episode. And then we go back for a minute. Like, you kind of forget about that, at least I always do.
Oh, yeah. The little globy thing that controls the weather. That's right. I forgot about that.
Is that the point of the episode? That's what they're trying to find.
Yeah, they stole it. The weather dominator device is what I call it because that's what they use in G.I. Joe. Cobra creates the weather dominator. Same thing. But yeah, I completely forgot about that too. Yeah, they get accused of stealing it because it's like people just looking just like you, same.
Well, they came
outfits,
through a Stargate. Like
Stargate.
we can't use the gate. You need specific locations to know. This is definitely a season where season 1 was more about, like you'd said earlier, the more rustic, older races that have no tech. This season, we've got a lot of alien advanced tech. Gamekeeper, VR, the sarcophagus stuff, the lady that could power Stargate with bio stuff, this Touchstone, Macheo, the spirit dude. I mean, there's so much advanced tech this season. It definitely does. The sci-fi is amped up a ton. Even the Native American one with aliens that can, teleport you or whatever. So we've got a lot more of that. But yeah, this one's fun. I like the detective story of how you work out how. So explaining how, yeah, the weather's a bit screwy on Earth right now because it's designed for that planet. You can't just turn it on somewhere else. It doesn't work that way. And so, yeah, we have to triangulate how it's effing up the planet a bit. But they're going to keep trying. And it's, another arc that continues. There is a second gate. The Air Force controls one gate. I mean, if you can steal the other gate and use it to explore the, in between whatever. I mean, it's a good strategy. Yeah, advanced tech is the whole point, and they've done not the best job of getting it. Guys! Super chats, thoughts, comments, questions. 89 people watching, 74 likes. Click like if you can.
Yes.
Yeah. Next episode is the 5th race, the ancient.
This is the nth degree. It is. It's the same premise. Yeah, so this is the one where O'Neill eventually stops talking because he becomes too intelligent.
Well, he gets face hugged.
With anybody.
That's what we call it in the fan community. He gets face hugged.
Yeah. And then eventually goes and meets with the Asgards. And then the 8th chevron.
Yep.
Goes
to the galaxy.
Great. Yep. So yeah, this is basically the nth degree with Barclay in Star Trek. Same thing. They make him super intelligent to kind of get him to them,
Yes.
but I don't think it was intentional in this case.
Well, this one's better because it's again more character based. Like Barclay comes and goes, whereas this affects Jack forever. You know, and the Asgard are there forever, etc. etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, it's definitely closer.
It's a good episode. Good episode. Him not communicating though bugged me a little bit, but you know, I love how he creates the little device which gives the power boost to the gate, and then stops working after that. Although they create another one later, but that's okay.
Yeah, and on the Asgard, we go from being a one Asgard to like, oh shit, we're actually at their homeworld. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, escalation. But it feels something about it just feels natural, you know. It's earned somehow. It's weird.
And the CG Asgards at the end look really good. They move more naturalistic than the puppets do.
Yeah,
I gotta say that.
Yeah, they know how to use their CG for the most part. It's like in a distance, cleverly, limitedly. Never a close up because that would be too much. But this one's good, and this is really good because this episode harkens to later episodes, but they keep it completely consistent. And so when you watch the entire season, now that you see the later episode, you're like, that's a facehugger which does X, Y, and Z. That's a power source that we see as tech that's seen later on. Like, it actually links to later stuff, because obviously the later on people thought, well, we'll link back to our earlier stuff. So it makes it feel super well rounded that at the time it was just a thing. But it's like it is completely like flawlessly retconned without any, you know. So it's a very good episode in that way. And yeah, having him overwrite his brain, I mean, it's a scary concept. You know, this is the entire knowledge base of the alien race. That said, why the hell do they have an entire knowledge base of the alien race in a room on a planet to be taken? Why the hell is that there?
Yeah, if I remember, there's just that room. There's no way out of it.
Yeah.
And then this thing comes out of the wall, and Teal'c looks through. Nothing happens.
Yep.
And then, yeah.
Glowy lights take him, yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the reveal of an 8th chevron got me excited. I'm like, ooh, that's awesome. How's the computer program gonna figure that out? Oh, well, he's
it doesn't.
controlling it, so.
Yeah.
But no, that's really neat.
It's another big world building one. And yeah, we've made a really good impression with the Asgard, because it's not just the fact that we got there, it's the fact that humans are advanced enough to be able to cope with the information enough, to be able to build something enough, to get to them enough, with enough power in our systems. Yes, we did it barely, but the fact that we did it means we're worth noticing.
Yeah, exactly.
And in fact, it's later revealed that Jack is actually a bit more evolved as a person, that he could deal with it. Most people couldn't. He's just a little bit, like 1% more evolved, even though he's plays dumb. So a little bit of retcon there, but I mean, that's fine, I think. Doesn't mean too much. But yeah, solid episode, great world building. But then you have Time Dilation, the bomb episode.
A matter of time. Yeah, I mean, the effects of the black hole spreading through the Stargate, and see, this is another one where I remember the ending where they're going on the ropes.
Yeah.
And then one guy dies. One guy dies. It's like, what the hell is up with that? He's been trying to or fix his relationship with O'Neill for the whole goddamn episode, and he just ends up dying. Like, didn't see that coming, but okay. No, this is an interesting one. Time dilation is really weird, by the way.
But it also, I think it's pretty well thought out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think we've never really seen a sci-fi like that before. You know, the fact that we get like these colonel guys come in abruptly, it's like, what's happened? What do you mean? It's been 10 hours. It's been 2 weeks. What?
Yeah.
So abrupt. I love it.
Yeah. No, it's a good episode. I don't remember much about it, to be honest, and it's just kind of like hitting the main beats, but it works for sure.
Yeah, it's a concept over execution, I think. I think this one suffers from being a bottle show because the set's also dark because we're alert. So all I think of in this episode is the same grey walls dark and then the end. That's all I think of, which is which, you know. So it's not.
And And the iris getting like crushed.
Yeah.
And sucked through.
It's just such a clever concept, and they do use the idea of black holes later. It's just a good concept, isn't it? And the bomb idea. Yeah. And just see the wormhole, like anti-wormhole being sucked. What the hell's even happening? Like, it's being sucked from across the universe. And can you imagine that little SG team, like, just hanging out, and now they're stuck on a planet with a black hole for several million years?
Even though it's only a couple seconds for them.
Yeah, bit shit.
Yep.
Bit shit.
Was that SG-11 as well?
No, thank God. But it will. More bad shit happens, don't worry. But yeah, this one for me, and in fact, as we were talking, almost this entire season so far has been episodes that are directly linked to an earlier season. In some way. This is one of those few, like, oh, it's a one-off. Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird, at this point, which is kind of strange. But speaking of not one-offs...
Holiday.
No, that's the one after. Yeah, Holiday. Machello.
Machello, yeah.
Hello.
The Gaul devices. Where Daniel's like wandering around talking to the homeless guy. Let's go for food. It's on me, everyone. Well, we need a credit card. One of these? Yeah, that'll do. This is a fun episode. Just trying to think what else happens in this one. Daniel gets trapped in the old guy's body, almost dies. I still don't buy the ending that the guy decides to actually help out and give Daniel his body back. It's a little too quick for me. I do like the switch between, like, you can't do it and then just undo it. You have to, like, transfer into a different body, and then so we're playing like musical chairs with people's bodies at the end, which is fun. And to see the other people, the other actors acting like the other characters was really good. This one's a fun one.
It's definitely a let's just have a laugh, sort of episode. And I think it's like, do you realise that the actor playing Machello is actually just Michael Shanks in a lot of makeup?
Yeah.
But I think you almost can't tell. He's under a lot of makeup. Like,
yeah, you can tell though, but it's very well done.
Because it's so that it's so that the voice feels the same. Because if it was just a random old guy and then the Machello voice, but the fact that Michael Shanks, is speaking the Machello voice while being Daniel gives you that unique context. But I didn't realize that in SD, in 1998, wherever I saw it, that it was Michael Shanks again. But good, it shows how different of a range he has, because this is very off. And the idea that this guy is a famous anti-Gould scientist, and yet he's dying alone on a planet with no tech that ever helps anybody. It's like
his dementia or whatever at the beginning, like, I'm Daniel Jackson. Yes, I'm Daniel Jackson. It's like, oh my god. It's so well done. I like it. It's
a fun one, and then it feels expensive at the start, and it just ends up being just Michael Shanks walking in totally 90s attire. Like, that feels, to what I dated yesterday, that feels dated. Like, Mr. 90s. And then making friends with a homeless guy. Like, it's sweet. It's sweet. That I'm not as fan of watching, because it's so it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of Stargate. But the sci-fi in this is fun, and to see Christopher Judge act laughing and energetic. Like, he's a really...
Like O'Neill, yeah.
He's a really emotive guy if you meet him. He is, like, especially when he's less now, but when he's younger. Like, I met him, like, during season 6, so he was, like, in his absolute prime. And he will smile, his whole face lights up, really... And then to see him play Tilk is like, wow, that's acting. And so you see a real him in this. It's really refreshing, actually. I'm sure the guy loved it. Solid episode. It's fun. It's silly, But then...
Selmac made Jacob a better dad, $2.
Yes.
Who pays Daniel's credit card charge at that dinner? Oh, probably the military, I would assume. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Ozzy Madero's $5. Here is a weather
Update, probably.
Update. It's 149 degrees Celsius in Bullhead City. Weather, fertilizers, skeleton hands. You can cook outside for dinner.
God.
Just cook on your driveway.
Yeah.
Next up is Serpent song.
The Apophis episode, which I think is pretty surprising, to be honest.
the old creepy dying Apophis at the end
Please.
is.
Help me! I'm afraid.
I'm afraid. I just say I'm scared. I'm afraid because I just watched the
Yeah.
the
Oh,
one.
the other one, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, no, this one's good, and it comes out of nowhere pretty much. It's like,
Yeah.
Apophis, really? Already
Yep.
dead? Okay, cool.
Yep. But they've already set up so well in the season that he can be brought back. Like, it's all in there, you know?
Yeah, and I love how he dies, and they just throw him through the Stargate for the other guy to like revive him and torture him as he pleases. It's like, you think that's a good idea, guys? To really like really, you think that's a good solution?
Well, Sokov's gonna blow up Earth, so
Yeah, I know that.
not a lot of choice. Let's be fair. Death or Apophis or death. I think.
But as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh yeah, he's coming back. God damn, he's dead, but he's coming back.
Yeah. And what do you think of the introduction of Sokar? You know, you've had Apophis be this big guy in season 1. You do get a sense he's much weaker in season 2, and then suddenly this guy, this face in the metal, Sokar. You know, I think Tolkien says, who is Sokar? He rules the underworld. It's like, oh, he's the devil? Like, the ghouls can choose their persona. He chose the devil.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good sign, is it? Really?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I kind of missed that watching this one the first time, to be honest, though.
Okay.
So, you know, I knew there was a bigger baddie out there, but we hear about the System Lords and all that, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one. And to see him, like, his death scene, like, the way he looked, that's so well done.
Yeah, considering he's not an old guy, the makeup is really well done. Like, he feels like an old guy.
Yeah.
But in like a diseased body sort of way, not like he's too, like, it's a weird aging. It fits the character because it's the fact that the sarcophagus and his Gould, like, the body is now feeling the hundreds of years of age. Like, the body is degrading in a way that cannot be expressed because it's not how any of our bodies work. And then hearing the dude's host.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing have 700 years of killing people. Can you imagine?
Well, I don't feel bad for him. Sorry.
But he was just this scared kid who got picked in
care.
some planet, and then
Too bad for him.
Okay. And having met Peter quite a few times actually, working with him at the last event, like, really good actor, really nice, gentle guy. He's not at all like Apophis, and the range he shows in this episode is really good. Like, you buy every minute of him being a tortured guy. My only disappointment with this episode is I wish he would look like Apophis more, and I wish he didn't look old as quickly, so you get more fun scenes of him being a System Lord guy. Because when he goes to old, he's just like this in the chat for like a good 30 minutes. Wish I had a bit more of him be proud Gould, you know?
Yeah.
But that's just me. But yeah, that's our primary villain, Stuart.
Yeah, I know.
It's really out of left field.
The visuals are quite... They're burned into my brain as far as how he looked at the end there. It's really creepy. So, again, as I've kept saying, great makeup, great visuals, great sets, great props. Good job, guys.
And how Jack and Tilk basically say, let him die, let him suffer, and Janet Fraser won't let him because and they basically tell her, don't give him anything for the pain. She's like, I'm going to give him something for the pain. And they're like, I wouldn't. He's like, I'm doing it anyway.
She's a doctor.
She's a doctor, yeah. And then the horrible moment where he talks to Daniel and he's like, where's my mate? And he's like, no, my wife. Well, I've had her recently. Well, I know where your son is. Harua has her. No, I have her. Like, gut punch, you know? Like, he has one up on him. Some strong shit. Some legitimately strong shit in this one.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good episode.
But going from some strong shit to guys in leotards.
One false step. See, when we did the review for season 1,
okay,
this was the next episode I watched because I watched it right after we had done that because we went upstairs, made some food, and watched this. So that's where I was in season 2 when we did the first one. This one's kind of fun. I mean, I like these people, but I still don't understand really what the hell happened. I mean, yeah, there was a sound on the planet that these plants created, but I don't know why it affected them the way it did. I don't know. I didn't get it because I thought it was definitely like, we brought the Spanish flu in, guys. Hey, how's it going? You're dropping dead. Which you think would happen more often in this show, but anyway.
Basically, from what I remember, in essence, they bring a cold from our world, just any little bug, and it infects the plants that aren't. I mean, it's a pathogen from another world. Once the plants get sick, they can't do their song. They can't do a thing that kind of keeps the guys healthy, and they all have a symbiotic relationship with the plants. Because the plants are ill, they're ill, and they start dying because they're not getting their rejuvenating sound, their waves, their energy, they're part of the life force, and they basically just kills the ecosystem of the entire planet because they bring in a single germ without even knowing.
Yeah, well, I get that, but I don't understand why when the SG team isn't around, that the plants all of a sudden spring back up.
Well, because they don't want to. They're it's like a Venus flytrap. You know, the prey, they change their state and whatever. It's just like, we can't. You know, this is for our life, our symbiote life forms, not for intruders. You know, they're shy.
Well, the chat's saying no, the UAV crashed into the plants, damaging them and changing the sound. Okay, that makes more
too.
Sense. It wasn't explained that well in the episode though, because it I don't know.
Well, it was a cold in terms of a thing flew into a thing. I was right conceptually, just it wasn't a cold, it was a mechanical device.
You're thinking because Daniel was sneezing all the time, and they hadn't seen anybody sneeze before, so they were like moving away in terror.
I think they must have said in the episode, is it because we gave them an infection? So I barely remember the OV. Now you've said it, I remember it, but I don't even remember that really. This one I will skip. It's not a fun watch really for me. It works, but you know, it's lower end. Certainly one of the weakest this season, hands down. I'd be interested to know what are your favourite and least favourite this season, because we didn't even do that at the start. But this one I would definitely have in my lower. Not because it's bad, it's just not very interesting. You know.
Next is Show and Tell.
Yes,
the
Ritu.
Little kid that talks to his invisible mom.
Yeah.
Let me find out about the Ritu. Yeah. Which is concerning, considering they could be on the base. You know,
well, they are.
Know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And they look like the Zindi.
And considering that was very early, like CGI creature, they look great. Like they're used sparingly, but they look great. And if they were done like HD, I think they'd look even better. That said, obviously the shadows from Babylon 5 looked just as good, like 4 years earlier. But these things are way more detailed than those. So I give them credit. That is good looking CG, especially for the time.
This is an okay episode for me. It wasn't super great, but the kid talking to his mom was kind of creepy.
Well, you think he's delusional until you realize he isn't.
Yeah. Little creepy kid. Looks like a little monk kid or an avatar. Or from the show Avatar.
Yeah. I think this is I know the Ritu don't really come back. And I think it's a real shame. Because they feel, everything is set up with this show, it feels like. So why are they never in it again? They're so interesting. I mean, I know they're obviously expensive to do, they're CG. But knowing they don't go anywhere, it kind of feels like a waste opportunity. And the kid's pretty good. And I like the TRs, the tech cloaking, and that they come back. And come on, any new weapon is kind of cool. And prop design is so good. It's like, that's a really good looking gun for what it is and weird. But it doesn't quite come together. I think this one it's a bit lackluster despite the really cool idea. Doesn't quite come together. And 3-2 were in it again, great, but they're just kind of not. But I think the reveal of that he's not delusional. He's talking to literally an alien, 4-legged creature that's invisible in the room right now is a big like, oh my god, what? Give him credit for that. That's a great little reveal.
No, and the kid, the actor is a good actor. Like he does a good job. But I feel bad for the kid a little bit because of his genetic problems.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Then you have Ritu again. 1969, the penultimate.
Fantastic episode. I'd probably say one of my favorite of all so far. Just a fun episode. Like I said, I love the time travel thing, and it's done. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. We kind of talked about this beginning of the show, so
Yeah, it's definitely.
yeah.
This is one of those ones that we could also show you as a standalone. I think just like window of opportunity and say that is a really good episode. That said, once you like the characters, it works better, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a great episode, and it's also feels like quite a cheap episode because like, a lot of it's just like outdoors and real sets.
Yeah.
But yet it's so textural. That said, I'm not the biggest fan of how long they spend in the van. I feel there should be another cool set piece. I like them,
Yeah.
I like it, but the ending is so cool, the start is so cool, the middle is a bit lackluster for me. You know?
Jersey at $2. Teal. The war with Canada?
Yes.
No, man.
And in fact, the hippie guy, the main hippie guy, he's like 7 different characters in the show.
Oh, wow.
And most of them you don't realize. This is one of those only ones of like not in makeup, and he's so different in every part he plays. It's really quite weird. And
he's the Jeffrey Combs.
Somewhat, yeah.
Stargate.
I just like him as a guy. He's a nice guy. He's much more like the hippie than you'd think. Not like a hippie, just like that sort of vibe. And we met him in Vancouver, and he had a panel talk about all his parts. And I was like, wait, that many? He just kept like he's almost one of the most parts in all of. It's just weird. It's like really that random guy is like 9 characters. Yep, he is. Yep. And you'll see some pretty like special characters as well. But yeah, 969 great, and I think the double ending is really excellent. The double future, you don't see that coming. It's a nice like
Yeah.
I know you don't like Cassandra from season 1, but it's just like right.
No, I like the way that tied in though. That was really good. But I'm not a fan of the character or the actress for the young kid.
But speaking of the future, Stuart, the next episode, SG-1, has unfortunately been lost to time. They all, apart from Tilk, obviously, went to a planet, got lost, and stuck in cryogenic, and they're reawakened like 75 years later. The world knows about the
79 years later.
The world knows about the Stargate program, and Jack's the only one to really be alive, and they have to, who could have saved them and put them through the Stargate, Stuart? We see the future SG teams, we see the future SG world. This is the SG 2000 and 2100, the future. What do you think of Stargate, the future?
Well, I messaged you.
Yes,
Another
you
goddamn
did.
clip show.
And what did I say?
No, it's not. It sure seems like it at first. It really does.
But doesn't that lull you into such a false sense of it's going to be a cheap clip show?
Pretty much. Yeah. I do like the new look of things and the new uniforms. And I was wondering if there wasn't if you could buy those uniforms or the patches, and you said that they do exist, so that's cool.
Yeah, we have one in the.
But yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember a lot about this episode, weirdly enough.
I do remember more about the second part, because I mean we can go into both parts, I think, because we're going to do season 3. So the whole Hathor such. Talk about the whole thing as I'm sure we watched it sort of back to back. So think of it as more of a movie,
Yeah, well, I don't remember the first part as much as with the second part. I think. Into the fire.
Well, it's a lot of setup,
Yeah, I'm looking at. Talk me through it, please, because it's just not. Even though it's just one I just saw not that long ago.
Okay, so in reality, Jack wakes up and he's talked to by a quite confident, suave-sounding new captain. Happy to hear General Hammond died at a ripe old age of like 90. And yeah, Jack's been in the ice for 79 years. He's back, and they want to know what alien race took them back, and so they use these Gould-looking devices, but given from the Tok'ra, it's all legit, and they show these quite cool CG hologram like effect things, relives and memories. Mm-hmm. Weirdly, a lot of pain, hurts a lot. That's weird. Doesn't matter. It's weird. And they show clips of all the alien races to give us a sense of okay, who could it be? Then Jack is sort of suspicious, although then we see as an audience that. Carter and Daniel both the same situation, both in different bays, both the exact same pitch, basically. Jack then senses something wrong, stops his own... Because he doesn't like being drugged all the time, because they're left unconscious when not being sort of interrogated. So he stops the drugs, escapes successfully, and he realizes there's nothing in the base. All the lockers are empty, and the Stargate.
And even the power panels are empty. Yeah.
Which is really fun to see. Like it's like that's what they look like in normal set. It's the set, but it's the set.
Yeah.
It kicks the Stargate, can tell it's not real. Ends up finding a door in the elevator that is a bit Gouldy. Opens up. Oh no, they're in a Gould something.
Okay, now you're ringing my bells.
Then he goes through because they're all in antechambers, so he finds Carter. Carter's like, I thought you were dead, because they all think they're dead multiple times a season. Gets her back. They knock out a male guard, and she puts on his clothes, and they fit, even though they're clearly different sizes. That's a fun little thing that, as a Stargate fan, you notice, but whatever. And then Daniel,
I it too. Yes.
There you go. And then right at the end, once they go to the gate, and they're like, well, what do we do? They knew everything. They knew about all of our procedures. It's super faithful. It's very well done. And only someone who has intimate access of the SGC would know, because it literally is every detail. It's ridiculous. And then suddenly out of the Stargate comes Hathor!
Yes. And she looks much better in this episode than the first one we saw her in.
Oh, yeah?
Her hair looks a lot better.
More crisp.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Well, she hasn't been asleep for 2,000 years. Probably, the bedhead. Bedhead, yeah. Or bed hair, anyway. And then part 2, ends with part 1 is that she's given birth. When she's basically, when she went through the gate, she had no army and she had no way of really procreating, so she used her pheromones to take certain border guards from different people. That's why, if you look at her forces, she has, they're able to use every single costume from the show so far, all of the expensive shit in one go, because she's got everybody. But she pulls out a Gould, a fully grown Gould from a Jafar, who's whatever, and it's a really gruesome looking full snake. And it's like, which one of you will be the host? Because guess what? We need, we need more big guys to be. And then part 2, they have to escape. Tilk comes in with the SG teams. They invade the base. There's actually Tok'ra in her ensemble. You get this great bit at the end where these big weapon turrets, and the general is like a really badass in his cool gold armor, red armor, sorry, and he's like, Jafar, Kree, and he's like, Jack's like, yes, Kree to you as well, now go away. He's like, but you're a Gould too, right? He's like, yes, I'm a Gould, but Hathor's dead. What? I killed her. Okay, what? And then they've got Braytak's help, and they bring the spaceship through the gate, the needle threader, and it comes in, destroys everything.
Oh yes.
And it lands, and it's like, yay, we did it. And they actually do kill Hathor. They throw her into the pool of whatever. So it ends the Hathor arc.
Which sucks.
Does suck. But it was a good 2-part for her. So there you go, Stuart. I've just given you the whole plot. Well remembered by me, but it's a pretty standout 2-parter. What do you think then?
Yeah.
Now I told you the entire plot.
Well, you made me remember it. I don't know why I didn't remember it. Yeah, I liked seeing her back. I did like the reveal of the empty starbase, or the facility, essentially. Well, not empty, but set pieces.
Well, it's like you know something's up, but it's more likely to be time travel storyline than evil baddie.
It's future imperfect, is what it is.
That's what you said before.
Same kind of feel.
But it's so well played. Like they play it straight for a long time. I love that.
And I got to admit, I like the white suits that they get. I like Jack O'Neill's white suit. It looks good. It looks crisp. It looks clean. This was a good episode. I don't know why I don't remember it though. Now that you refresh my memory, I can see it all.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just had that block. It's like,
if you binge
show and then not.
If you binge it doesn't stick as much.
That's the problem. Yeah, absolutely.
Especially as I'm sure just watch these back to back. Whereas obviously I had a year's wait. It's like, oh my god, Hathor! Because Jack does get legitimately, Gouldified. He does have the scar on his neck. Like, that's now forever. And he gets killed in the ice. Quite effective. And then obviously the Tok'ra come back and in the needle threader. What a cool ship.
Yeah.
I really want that 3D model because it was a well-made piece. And to see Hammond yeehaw as Tilk's flying through the gate and they fire all the cannons.
Yep.
It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Yep. It's good to see Hammond doing stuff for sure.
Because he's such a good leader. He's one of the best leaders, I think, in this sort of show.
Yeah.
Like, he has so much character.
Hammond from Texas.
That is a long-running joke, that is. You'll be happy to hear. It's less memorable a two-parter than the first season two-parter because everything's fresh. But if it wasn't a clip show, if they'd found another way to tell information, because the premise is outstanding, really, really clever. Like you wouldn't think of that. Like one guy in the writers' room, like, "Ooh, this," and everyone's like, "Oh, perfect." But it spends too long being a clip show. But also they're saving money because they have a lot of good budget stuff. So it's a hard one to rectify. If he had had some way of like drawing it, animating it, if they'd been able to go into the memories, would have been cool. Like he'd walked in and shown, so they would get if they'd replayed scenes,
but the alternate takes,
or like literally they took the general into the and he's like, so he walks into Thor's hammer episode and now he's with Tilk and the Eunice and he's like, so this is the Eunice. What? Who are you? I'm James Earl Jones again. Weird. Like that would have been even cooler, but that would have been a hell of a lot of money to set up. That's like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I love the subtlety of like this thing hurts them a lot. Yeah, because Ghoul Tech, they don't care. Like there's all these little subtle clues. Yeah.
Jersey at $5. Hathor wasn't the best villain, but she used well here. And seeing Hammond go to bat for his team and SG-1 take down their first System Lord made it great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish there would be more Hathor because she's easy on the eyes.
Lovely lady too. She's her husband's a baker in London, so she lives like above her husband's baking shop, where she still acts. So she loves cakes with him. It's great. She's really lovely. Oh yeah, there's also that great scene because we get a lot of continuation about the Ghoul storyline where they're on Chulak and he's gone back. It's not as public. He sneaks in, but he's he talks to this room of people. It's like, come on. We've killed Apophis, because they think they've killed Apophis with Sokar. We know that your lord is dead. Help me fight. And it's two guys. Everyone walks out, and the lady's like, "You bitch," and he's like, "Shut up, woman." Literally, she's like, "Shut up." And then it's two guys, Braytak, and this masked guy. Hey, Tilk, it's Hammond. What?
Yeah.
It's just some good stuff, and you forget how much continuity it all has together. Like it's really well integrated. Which again, Star Trek never had pretty much. And again, think about this compared to Picard or Discovery.
Well, yeah,
like it's not even in remotely the same league.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah. So Stuart, looking at the list, and guys, if you want to super chat your review scores of this season compared to other seasons, or your favorite least favorite episodes, I'd love to get on the $20 as we've had little to no super chats, but the regulars have been amazing as always. So if we can get on $20, that'd be good. Stuart, what was your favorite 2, favorite 3, and your least favorite 2 or 3, and why?
Let me reopen my IMDb.
Cool, good stuff.
Just close it because we were done.
Well, we're in the closing, Stuart. We're in the closing.
Let's see here. Come on, open, says me.
Yes.
There we go. Just a second. I'm getting there. Relax. Get your panties in a twist. All right. So, most favorite would be Message in a Bottle is great. So is Touchstone and 1969. I'd say those would be my top 3.
Okay. In kind of like any order, as in like those are just the 3 best for you.
Yeah, I'd say 1969 was my favorite from this season, though.
Okay. Not the ones I thought you were going to say, which I'm like Touchstone. I'm quite impressed about actually. It's I guess you just dig it.
Yeah.
And then least favorite 3.
Probably prison. Well, family for sure is down there. Don't care. One False Step.
Which one's that one?
That's with the leotard people.
Uh-huh.
And Prisoners, maybe.
Okay.
And Prisoners wasn't bad, but I'm just trying to...
So you prefer Prisoners over Tilt gets infected by the flying thing?
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. So, yeah, that one. Bane.
And then if you if you had like the worst of all of them, like you said, 69 was your best one. Which thing would be the least enjoyable one? So Bane, Leotard, or
honestly, Bane.
Okay.
Just, didn't enjoy that one really.
Yeah, at least family like links to everything really well, and you get to understand stuff better.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see Apophis like just before he dies as well. Like knowing he dies, it's like every bit. It's like he's just barely holding on. Okay, this season though, even those bottom three, do you think are actually bad TV, or do you just not enjoy them as much?
I just don't enjoy them as much for whatever reason. It was hard for me to find ones that would be on the bottom there. This is a really well done series and season.
That's what I mean about compared to TNG. The batting average is just so much higher. You know, season 2 we had the child, we had the clip show. There's nothing that bad. None of these are bad. They're just personal preference, you know, or not quite as good. Guys, have you any super chats for the personal favorites and least favorites?
We got Jeff Jacobs $2, 100. Sweet, it's true. You guys can't be beat. # make Jeff pay. And Jarzia puts in $2. Bane felt more like an X-Files episode to me. Yeah, and that's the problem. Whenever I say there's a bad episode of Stargate, I'm comparing it to something else, like a bad episode of Star Trek or a bad episode of Xena or whatever. But yeah, if like I said, it reminded me of that Voyager episode where B'Elanna gets that big thing strapped to her.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So for me, there's a lot of solid ones this season. I mean, 1969 is obviously like the best made, but it's not my favorite because it's not as like sci-fi future-y, you know. It's like TNG is obviously the best made, just Voyager's more sci-fi in it, you know. So I won't go the best of the best. I'll just do 3 because I think, you know. First episode, obviously, it's a really strong episode. Last episode, I think is I like the concept a lot, but I guess 69 is better than that one. See, I feel like Fifth Race has got to be high on the list because it's a great concept, well acted, with a great end and a great start.
Well, Jarzia puts in $2 and says the Fifth Race was the best. One False Step was the worst.
Yeah, I think the least good ones are easy. One False Step, Bane, and
You're not going to say Family, I know that.
No, Family's pretty good. I think the time dilation one, by a hair's breadth, I just don't enjoy it that much. I don't know why. Something about it. It's not bad, and I think I'll watch it. But Bane's definitely the worst. Family's good because there's a lot of stuff in it, and it's hard to watch. And also makes you appreciate, like, I compare that kid to Jake Sisko a lot. Like, level of, like, young kid, black actor, good at acting, and, like, surprisingly convincing in their role. And then you compare it to, like, Alexander. None of those things.
Yeah.
Not convincing as yet.
Dreamer out there, $2. The Fifth Race is the best. It starts so much.
It does. Well, I think this season, like I said, doesn't really have a 10. I think the 69 is a 9, solid 9, but has a lot of solid 7s. You know.
Yeah.
It's not got as many strong ones, but it's real. You know, the average is really high, and a lot of just good stuff to watch.
And Selmac made Jacob a better dad, $2. Fifth Race, Message in a Bottle, Spirits, and Thor's Hammer. Thor's Chariot. Thor's Hammer season 1.
Stuart out Stargated away. Because we see the Chariot. The Beliskner class warship, Stuart. The Beliskner.
Good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's a good season. Well done them. And what are your impressions of season 3 then so far?
Better than season 2 so far.
Cool.
I don't know. It's getting better and better. And the only thing is, I think Daniel's more of a dickhead in season 3.
Well, there's a point where he goes from being the guy in the movie to his own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, I think that's probably... Oh, didn't you just love the Seth episode? The Gould named Seth.
Yeah.
I love that one. It's such a good episode. And that guy, that is the only actor who played Seth who, when he was cast, his look was actually his look. So when we met him at the convention, he's the only actor, except like a guy that has a short haircut, that had the full beard and moustache, and the long hair. So when he pitched with him, he looked like the same guy, and he barely aged after like 12 years. It was brilliant. It's like, he's actually Seth. Yeah. I like Seth.
Oh, I noticed that Dom DeLuise is coming up because Peter DeLuise directed all these goddamn episodes. Does he direct every episode? I always see his name directed by. It looks like he does a lot of them anyway.
Oh yeah, he does. He's one of the him Martin Wood are the primary directors. But they like right there from the start. Yeah.
Anywho.
Cool.
Fergus Hancock puts in $5 AUD. Thor's Chariot and Message in a Bottle were the best for season 2.
Yeah.
Opinions there, so that's good.
Yeah, it's funny. Message in a Bottle. I know why.
Yeah, I still really enjoy 1969.
Well, it's definitely the best like rounded piece. You know.
I'm here.
Okay.
Pause for a second.
Yeah. Your face is paused on a on a medium thing. Don't know if you want to reset your camera. Oh, there you're back. There we go. But yeah, so no live tomorrow on the Trekyards channel, guys, because I will be on the Sci-Fi Nation channel just like on Monday, talking about my fan film Star Trek Temporal Anomaly, my multi-era crossover with all the eras. That'll be really, really fun. Hopefully some questions about my fan film. It'll be a watch party and then a Q&A after. And I'll be there to sort of answer questions during as well. That's kind of like, you know, my 5-year baby to get put together with a lot of really, I mean, I think it would say some pretty cool to watch CGI if you like ships flying.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good ships from all eras.
It feels like I didn't pay for that at all.
I was focused on something else because I just read Jill's $2 super chat of I've rewatched Ergo more than any other Stargate episode, and I'm like, I was scrolling through looking for it. It's the one with Dom DeLuise.
Yes.
But so I was listening to you, but I was sorry. Yes, it's fantastic.
And then he goes out. Great.
Sci-Fi Nation, help him out if you can.
And literally went out as soon as it started being nice to me. It went out. You know, of course it did. Of course it did. Terrible.
It's great. Go check it out. Make sure you subscribe to Sci-Fi Nation as well to help them out. But yeah, tomorrow, if you want to watch Temporal Anomaly with the creator and do a Q&A, go check it out.
Like you're not gonna be there, you little geek.
Oh, I'll find something else to do. It's fine.
Cool.
But yeah, anyway.
Thanks everyone for joining in. Hope you guys have enjoyed this Stargate look at. Like I said before, probably won't do, you know, you're already almost through season 3, so, you know, we won't do those for every season, but we might do a, you know, season, what did I say, 7, yeah, end of season 7, because that ends kind of the first big chapter. So we'll probably do one for that, which we'll get to in a couple of weeks, I'm sure. As obviously Lower Decks will take a bit of our time.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of us, but we're not sure what we can do live-wise. We'll see.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, guys, that's it for now. We'll see you, tomorrow if you go over and check out Sci-Fi Nation's thing. Otherwise, we'll see you probably Monday.
And then next Friday.
Next Friday is Lower Decks.
It
comes out on Thursday, but we're doing a review on Friday.
We'll see Stuart on Thursday, I'm sure, for his first reaction.
Ooh, first reaction review, yes.
People love those.
They do.
And that'd be great to like watch a few years later, be like, wow, he thought this was Discovery Season 2? All this potential canon, we guessed the whole plot, wow. No. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, guys. So yeah, moving on this Stargate break. I'll see you then, guys. He's Captain Foley.
I am. And he's the great Commander Gockins. And writer, director, special effects guy for Temporal Anomaly. So go check it out tomorrow. And with an SG-1 mug, so he's definitely cool. Why is an SG-11 guy wearing it, drinking out of an SG-1 mug?
It's not.
Is it just Stargate Command? Okay, good.
Oh, we're also real from the set. Sorry, that's the it's a real mug from the set. That's the context. It's actually a real mug from the real set they should drink out of. Dad got it because, you know, lols. So.
Who drank out of it?
Well, just the cast. I don't know. I mean,
Oh.
it's one of the in later one of the seasons you see like there's a table in the briefing room with just mugs. It's just one of those mugs.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.